Good morning, everyone. I am Karin Braxton, and today is April 26, 2022. And thank you for joining in today. Let's see if I can pull myself up on my laptop here. And we'll see if we have some comments coming in, if anyone has found us yet. Let's see if I can I've got to turn my volume. Oh, there it is. Yes, and I can see that. And let's see now. Let's swipe to the left to see about who's going to join first. So, oh my goodness, this is my last week in our house, and it has been busy. I had my huge clearance sale this past weekend, and I think I had 25 or 28 people coming to the house. And then I had probably 10 or 11 mystery boxes that were shipped out with orders. So it was really busy. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. You're still out in California. Thanks for joining in. It's early there for you. Anyway, it was a huge success. Cleared out a ton of stuff. Everyone got some good bargains. It was really fun and just a good time. It was a party time, really. And I did that for 2 days and plus a little bit of a third day. And anyway, it was really very great. And then my husband, Terry, has brought all the little white cubes that I used to have for storage in my old house when we lived in Missouri. And, oh, thanks for the hearts, Lisa. Linda, good to see you this morning. When I lived in Missouri, I had all those, cubes from Michael's for storage. And when we moved to Montana, we brought them to our ranch. And I had like about 16 cubes, and Terry carried all those and arranged them in our temporary house. We're only going to be in this house 6 or 7 months. And because the house that we're building isn't finished yet. It's right next to the mountains. It's beautiful. I'm going to have a huge craft room, just like I have here. Oh, good to see you this morning, Martina. And I know you took advantage of my big sale. I was so glad that you could do that. And Carolyn down in Georgia, good to see you this morning. I am coming to you from Bozeman, Montana, and our address is 26 Ballindolik. And literally, we have lived here 6 years. And Ballindolik, trying to spell that. Yesterday, I was trying to spell it for someone. I have to write it down every time. But we're going to move to 631 White Horse Loop. That's much easier. Anyway, we have a lot coming up. 6 days from now, we have a brand new catalog that goes live. Hey, Munch, good to see you in northern Montana. Here's the catalog that's going live. And I am going to be showing you some stamps, 2 projects today using things from this new catalog. And let me see once. Let me just set that someplace so I don't get in the way. Remember this catalog, our mini catalog, this is still current. So this goes for 2 more months till the end of June. So lots of great things for spring in here. If you don't have a catalog, well, most of you have a catalog, but if you don't, always let me know or something. And then this is the one that's retiring in 6 days. So this ends on May 2nd, and then the other catalog goes live. And I am using 2 of my very favorite products. Hey, Jan, good to see you this morning, too. 2 of my favorite products that are in here, and they're still available. I checked last night. At least they were still available last night. There's still a lot of really great stuff. I should have looked for the page numbers, and I didn't do that. But hey, maybe I can just find them quickly. So anyway, we are going to start today. We're going to do some really cool stuff using some new paper. This is you can see this is called, I don't even know what it's called now, though. It is for the set that is called Nature's Prints. It's like sun prints. Do you remember when you were maybe some of you, at least I know, we did that. We took photo paper and then we put leaves and things and left them out in the sun to be exposed, like an exposure. So these papers are all what's called Starry Sky. And you can see I have a Starry Sky shirt on today. I think I did a pretty good job. It's almost identical. Anyway, these papers are really nice. I'm going to show you what they look like. This is the Starry Sky side, and I really cut them up a lot. And I don't have a real good system. Once I don't want to cut any further because I only have, as demonstrators, we only get to, you know, like buy 1 or 2 of everything. Now this is the other side, and this is gray granite. It's really a pretty cool side. Look at that. And this one, and then we're using this. We're not using that. We're using the stripe today. We're using this, and we're using the hat. Isn't that cool? I love the combination of gray granite and Starry Sky. It's not quite a navy, but it's close. Anyway, let's point the camera down, and you girls keep sending hearts or thumbs up. That helps everyone find us. And I'm going to flip the camera now, so close your eyes. There we go. And I'm just getting, this is just to line up things, and I want to just remind you too, we only have 6 more days of this beautiful stamp set. Well, the stamp set's carrying over. It's called Waves of Inspiration, Stamps and Dies. Wonderful. The designer paper is still available, and it's $11.50. It's 12 by 12. You get 12 sheets. It is some of the most gorgeous paper I've ever used. I have loved it. I have made probably 30 cards with it. Then these blue foils, they're gone. That's sold out. And the rhinestones are sold out. However, in our holiday rhinestone package, there are these colors. So I bet many of you have that. That's from the annual catalog. But anyway, these are some cards that either I've made or I was in a swap for this group too. But look at this pelican, how different it is. This paper is just scrumptious. Look at this one. This is where you can see both sides of it. Did that one, and this one is, I love this one. It's so simple with our punch. That punch is retiring. It's going to be a hard one to replace. Karin Titus did that card and in Minnesota. This one was done with embossing paste. Marianne Grimmer, I don't know where she lives, but look at these cool pelican backgrounds. They're all totally different. Okay, we are going to, that's just want to remind you, if you don't have that designer paper, it's going away. So you have 1 week to get it. And these are the colors we're using today. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Starry Sky and gray granite. And we are going to be using, bring all the supplies in first. Oh, I have made a lot of cards with this. I was in a couple of business swaps, and I used this a couple of times. It's called Nature's Prints. Again, that sun print look. Here's some splotches. You're on my mind. Hello there. Best wishes. Heartfelt thank you. I love this whole look. It's a red rubber stamp, and it has dies. Really a cool wreath, and it cuts out all this foliage. And I'm going to show you how I do it because I actually cut a lot of pieces, and then I'll show you. We're going to use the Stamparatus today a lot, and so I'll show you how that works. And okay, let's get our little pieces together. Just want to have a little box of die cut pieces. Let me just move that right there so it's out of our camera view for a second. And this is the card that we're going to be making. I made this one for a swap. Do you see that background in there? That background is from a brand new embossing folder called Fern. And it's sort of like some parts of it's raised, some sort of it's recessed. It's really sort of neat. It's very, very subtle. I think it's going to be a good one to replace like that texture one that we used to have. Okay, here are the pieces. Oh, looks like I've got a doctor's note there tucked in my envelope. I was supposed to have just a wellness checkup this week, and then it got canceled, and here's my note. Okay, this card is not hard one bit. And hey, Jeannie, good to see you this morning. Oh, I'm sorry you had a seizure. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Here we are, and let's just bring this. Let me show you how we're going to put this together. So we have a base. I always use thick white or thick vanilla if I'm using a white or vanilla base. 5.5 by 8.5. It's a side closure. A normal score at 4 1/4. The Starry Sky. I just have to show you what a good match this is. I just thought that was pretty cool. The Starry Sky is 4 by 5 1/4. And the gray granite, and I've already run that through the embossing folder. I had the embossing folder here. I don't know where it is now, though. It was right with my stuff, but oh, here it is. Right next to me by the ink. It's called Fern. It's a 3D, so you have to use that special plate. I probably like the 3D more than anything. Anyway, these are our parts. So let's put those all together quick, and then we'll do some stamping. I'm going to take those off, and I will write down. I will type up the directions too for you, and you will have those. So, okay, let's get our adhesive out, and we are going to put, you know, sometimes when I'm a little bit lazy that way, but when you have an embossing folder, sometimes it's better to use your Tombow. But just for the sake of speed, and cleanliness here, I like to use my tape runner, but you run the risk a little bit of tearing the paper because it has so much texture to it. And then this is going to go right on our white base. We're going to leave a little bit of a margin. A 1/4 inch on all sides like that, and there is the basis of our card. Now, okay, let's get some stamping done. Let's bring in our little grid sheets. This is from the Stamparatus. Let me put that right there, and let's get our Stamparatus in. And well, I guess I don't need that because I'm using the Stamparatus, but the grid sheet, it's all on the same paper as our you know, the Stamparatus is all on, and all the accessories are on that. Whenever I'm stamping, I think I better zoom out a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. I like to put a stamp set underneath my plate. So this plate, stamping up, I'll zoom out a little bit. A few years, this Stamparatus has been in the catalog several years. This great piece of equipment. No other company has made anything like this. And I was actually, when this was in the design process, I was on a board for, you know, critiquing it. It was so fun. We did that for almost 2 years. Anyway, it's a fabulous product. You can do hinge stamping. You can do all kinds of things. The plates have you get 2 plates per Stamparatus, and I should find that in the catalog for you. Let me see I will do that. It's in the index, the stamp, page 144, because it is I think many of you already have this, but it is a great, it is $49, and here it is, and there's the grid paper, and then this is an extra foam mat. I'm not going to lift it up now because mine's under there, but you don't have to have it, but it does come with a foam mat, but I like this one with a grid on top. And then there's also extra magnets because these are super strong. Anyway, so what I do, when I had to make 26 of these, and what I did was I die cut. Whenever you're die cutting something, let's see if I can find my little pieces now here. We're going to stamp that. I'm going to stamp. You know, obviously, if you're only going to stamp one thing, you could just stamp it and die cut it. That works just fine. You don't have to get your Stamparatus out, but I want to show you how easy it is to do multiples. And this is a great thing to do like at Christmas time or if you're in a swap or anything. I'm going to just take so when I was die cutting these, I die cut it once, saved my template. Now I can zoom in a little bit, I think. I save my template, and then I just die cut, because you can die cut like 2 sheets of basic white paper at the same time, so it's really fast. And then you just stick it in there like this. I already measured, hopefully that's going to be just right. So I put it in there like that and get my Starry Sky ink. It's a pretty color, really deep, almost purpley blue. I'm going to stamp that up, ink that up, and I'm going to just place it down like that. And there, look at that. It looks perfect, I think. And there it is. How fast is that? I'll do another one for you just to show you. It's just a great way to make multiples. And it's also a good way for accuracy. In the second part of our video, I'm going to use a little bit more complicated stamp, and we're going to do that. So there we go. There it is again. There we have it. And now I'm going to take this template out. I always save it. I save it right in my stamp case. Oh, my stamp is under here. So we're going to have to pull that up for a second. And we're going to save it. And you see I have another template. This is a beautiful, beautiful one. But I'm not using it today. I couldn't find a way to use it. But it does stamp beautifully. And here is another one with a stamp stuck to it. This is the one we're going to use next. It's like a little sprig of flowers and things. And I'm going to just butt it up against the corner, put it in here. And these magnets, it comes with 2 magnets. I always put washi tape. It has 2 spots. This is packaging tape that I use. Just something to protect them a little bit. If you get 2 magnets close to each other, they're earth magnets, and they will shatter. I've seen people, I have watched videos where they've shattered on the video. So you do have to be careful. You don't, in this one I don't have to worry too much. I'm only using 1. Now I'm going to pull in my this other sprig that I die cut, and we'll stamp that. Just going to put it down in here. And now I'm going to turn my plate over. So we're finished with the fern, and now we're going to do this one. And let's see how I line that up and ink that up. There we go. Oh, it's pretty. Isn't that a... And then you can just take your pick tool if you want. Take your fingernails, whatever. But it works great. We'll do one more. Show you how fast it would be. It would take considerably longer if we were stamping and then going to the machine and die cutting. And the beauty is, if you don't think it's stamped very well, you can always go back and ink it up and make it darker. Here we are. Here is our sprig, and that is all for that. And then I take my chamois, and I do have some chamois that I cut in half like this and put in a plastic box, but I take my chamois and just clean it like that. You can take the whole plate afterwards. When the video is finished, I will take it and I will actually put it underneath the sink and clean the whole plate. But you can just dab it in the meantime, because I don't want to get I don't want to bump into it. Okay. And that, that's that. Now we can put that away for a second. And then we are going to stamp our, now I'm just going to do this with my stamps. And we're going to use, this pretty label that comes, there are 2 of them right there. See, I cut it 2 together, and then you can do, and I'm going to do You're on My Mind. No, this is not. This is Best Wishes. This one's Best Wishes and Happy Birthday. And let me get my Starry Sky ink. Just opens up like a compact, slides in. I do love our stamp heads. And then we just stamp it. Looks good. I think I'll just do the other one since it's out there. And that's it. And I can close that up. And then the inside of my card, this is going to be a birthday card. I need lots of birthdays. In fact, I am so far behind in April. I have to send out, I have to do that today. I'm going to stamp happy little bit late birthday in there. This is, I told you I was going to use 2 of my retiring favorite stamps. And there's also a die in the next one. This is probably one of my favorite top 5 stamps. And happiest of birthdays, and I'm going to keep it. I love the big wishing you happiness. I love the little bit late, a happy B-day. I just love everything about it. I have used it a ton, and I am going to use it again today because I can. Okay, so we're going to get our card out that we have assembled, and it's a red rubber stamp. We don't need every time we have red rubber, we don't need the piercing mat underneath, but look at, there's some ink from my thumb. Oh dear, that is a problem. It is a big problem. Let's see once if I can, maybe I can cover it up with this. Let's see how that, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And I usually would stamp it up much higher, but you can see I've got ink everywhere from, okay. Anyway, I like that. I have several birthday cards, and this one is going to go out to one of my friends and some of my team members who have birthdays in April. So let's put this all together now. And the reason I chose these colors is because of the paper. Because the paper has this Starry Sky and white and gray granite. So we're just going to do it exactly the way the colors, the way the card is. And I'm going to bring in my little chamois because we're going to do some gluing. I'm going to put that fern mat away. Okay, let's bring in our pieces now that here's one of our ferns and one of our little sprigs from the stamp set. And let's see if I can, oh, I have some of these that I die cut already. These little frilly pieces of just whatever, I don't know what they are, just like that. And I'm actually going to use 3 of them this time, and I'm going to just sort of glue dot them, or Tombow glue them. I only used 2 on the other one, but I'm going to try this. So I like the idea of the 3. We're going to put these, we're going to have these in the middle. Just put those 3 right there. And it's going to get covered up, and that Tombow is going to, it's a little messy. I probably should have used glue dots. That's what I really did on my other one. But on this card now, just going to give it a little bone folding curl toward the top, like it's got some movement. And same with this one. Just give it a little curl with your bone folder. And then I'm going to put some adhesive. I'm just using my seal. Oh, and by the way, the seal, the stamping seal and Seal Plus are all back in stock. I think they were literally gone for 2 months. And a long time, for sure. And you can see that right there. You can see some adhesive. I'm going to pull that out. And you're going to put that right there like that. So there's a little bit of movement toward the top. They're not completely glued down. And then we're going to put our little banner across. And this is 3 3/4, the same width as the gray granite. And it's a 1/2 inch. So we'll just put a little bit of adhesive right down the middle of that. And we're just going to cover this up like this. Maybe pull this one up just a tad. Okay, and then we're going to put our best wishes on. And this one we're going to put some dimensionals. So I'll get my dimensionals out here, and I like to sort of just bend them like that, and then they come off a little easier. Just give them a little, then your fingers can get underneath them. And then just take your fingernail, or take your pick tool, I like to use my Take Your Pick tool, but you can do it. And I put them in my little wastebasket, my little hanging sewing. It's really a little sewing thing that hangs off from my workspace. And there we have that. And we're going to put some pretty little, these are called matte decorative dots. They look like, remember when you were a child, maybe those of you who are older, you like me, you might recognize these like the candy dots we used to eat on paper. And anyway, they look just like that. They're beautiful. I don't have many left. We only were able to get a couple, or like 2 sheets, and I've already used them on a swap and a couple other things. So this one, all of my this one is going to be the orchard color, and I'm just going to, it's pretty close. That's all I have left. So as demonstrators, we can only pre-order so much. Anyway, and there is our card. Best wishes and happy thoughts. Happy little late birthday. And that's our card. And that was from Nature's Prints. Like that. And I still have a few pieces to make more cards. Like this. It has, you're on my mind, best wishes and happy thoughts. Hello there, heartfelt thanks. That's sort of a nice. And then I have my inky Starry Sky thumb. Okay, let's try our next card, which is considerably harder. It's not real hard, but it does take a little bit of time. We are going to be using the Stamparatus again, so I'm going to change out my plates. And going to find we're going to bring the Stamparatus in again. And let's see, where are my plates? There they are. We are going to do a double easel card. And then we are going to, it's a fun fold. And I have this all ready for it. And let me see if I can find my stamps. This is called, we're going to be using the new stamp called Bottled Happiness. Quite honestly, I did not plan to do it this way at all. I was planning to make a double easel card like this. This is a double easel. You see there's one opening, there's another. It's a little bit, not too hard, but it is a little harder than the average card. Anyway, I was going to use the same stamp for that to make that. And I just was working on it, and I couldn't get it to work. So I ended up using Bottled Happiness, which is all these flowers and leaves and these cool bottles. It is a fabulous set of stamps with dies. For the inside, we're going to be using Sunny Sentiments. This is another one of my favorites. It's retiring. I use this a lot just for the sunny thoughts. I like the birthday greeting for the inside, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. And this thank you is wonderful. It's called Sunny Sentiments. It's still available in the annual catalog. So let's put that away, and I will show you what our card looks like. Let me get all the pieces because it's got a lot. And that's that. And this is the card. I'll move that for a second. This is the card. It stands up. It's a really cool card that will stand on the mantle. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's, again, using gray granite, some of the Starry Sky, and gray granite here. But do you recognize these cool labels? Well, these have been in the catalog for 2 years, and they are now retiring, and they are called ornate. They've been ornate layers is what they're called, and they are wonderful. They're a little messy, but they do a beautiful. Oh, thank you, Martina. They do a beautiful job for labels, and I don't know. This is one of my favorites. I was hoping that it wouldn't retire, but it's literally, it may have been in the catalog 2.5 times. Maybe one of the So again, we're going to be using, I'll show you these, we're going to do this whole thing. And these little, these little pebbles at the bottom, those are in our mini catalog. Those are not carrying over. They're available until the end of June. There's still plenty of them. I love them. They're very, very flat. They're flatter than a dimensional, so they're good. Really nice. Okay, let's bring in our pieces. I'm going to set my card right there so I can see it as we work, and you can take screenshots, but I will have this all written down for you too. Okay, so we're going to start with, I've got a couple labels cut out. You should see the floor of my craft room. It is pretty messy. It needs to be vacuumed, but sometimes the dies really make a big mess. Whenever you're working, especially with such intricate dies, you really need to be, I like to keep the metal right on with my paper, and then I run the die brush. This is the take your pick tool with the brush end, and it comes with the foam and the brush, and I just run it over like that until and then it's filled up with little pieces, and it's all nice and clean. But it works great. I love that tool. I don't know how we ever existed without it actually before. So we have a Starry Sky card. It's a top folding. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. There we have it. Just fold it in half. So that is our base. And then we're going to take our, I used thick white on this, and that was sort of, I've done this cards many times, and not the same stamps and everything, but this formula. I actually saw this, Patty Bennett in California had some really good directions about 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, and I made lots of cards, and I always kept those directions, and they were, the stamp set we don't even have anymore, but so this thick white is 4 inches by 10 1/4, and we score it at 2 1/2 and 5. So it's going to look like this now. It's just a regular, and then it's got another fold. So it's got these 2 folds. I'm going to give that a good crease, like that. And we're going to actually bend it up like this, like a Z fold, is what it looks like. It looks just like a Z fold. And then this is going to go on here like that. And that's not hard. It takes a little bit more paper than we normally use. And then there's the piece, so that's going to go there. And then the inside is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. Okay? It's really not hard. The first one you make is probably a little harder, and then second and third are just lickety split. They're easy, not hard one bit. Okay, so we're going to put those pieces aside for a second. Oh, I forgot the gray granite piece. This one I'm just having a skinny border, so it's going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. You could make it 3 3/4. Some of our common measurements, I always have to double check when I'm doing eighths. So anyway, I'm just going to put that on there right now so we can get that out of the way. Just put it on with our seal. Whoops. There we go. And our gray granite is just going to go on with a little bit of an edge right there. Like that. You'll take that off. And I am just going to, now I'm going to attach this white. And your seal or Seal Plus works great. I'm going to just do it this way, just for my own. I sometimes find that when I do it horizontally, I get a straighter layout. Hey, Jan, good to see you this morning, too. And there is the basis of our card. And let's do the inside right away so I don't lose that piece, because that's, I tend to do that sometimes. There we go. That's the inside. And this is now, the whole card is assembled. And it wasn't too hard, was it? And it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to do the other parts, the stamping. We'll put that aside for a second and bring in our, I'm going to bring in my foam mat because this is going to be a photopolymer stamp. And we're going to bring in, oh, we don't, you know what? We're going to use the Stamparatus, so I have my foam pad on there already, so we're not using this. We're not, if you're just, you could use this stamp either way. We're going to do the leaves first. That's what I've written a note to myself. This is what do you see this foam mat? It looks like this. And that's the one it's $5, I think. It comes with just a plain mat that you could, it looks like this. This is what the machine comes with. And you can use that. Sometimes before we had this other one, I used this plus the silicone mat at the same time. And you get a good image that way. Like this. That's how I did it. But now that we have this one, I like it. I just leave it like this, and you can wipe that all off, and it's an extra $5, but it's okay. And I'm going to I have some pencil marks. I'm going to use this paper we used before, and let me get a stamp case underneath there, because I can't stamp otherwise very well. It can't ink up the thing very well. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to close that up. And now we are going to bring in our ornate layer. Love this. I'm really going to be very, very sad not to be able to have that in the catalog anymore. Okay, I'm going to just see that that's where I lined it up. I did this yesterday or the day before. And I'm just going to put one magnet right there. And I'll show you what I did to make a decision. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to do navy blue flowers and gray leaves. Where's my other one? Oh, here it is. This is the other one I did with the navy leaves and the gray granite flowers. You see all the little tiny, that's how you light. It's a 2-part stamp. And I am going to go with the navy. It seems like an odd choice, but I just sort of liked it better. And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do the leaves first, and they're going to be, I don't know, I just felt like it was easier to do it this way. I'm going to ink up my leaves. And, whoops. So we're going to stamp it down, press it down, give it a good, there we go. You can see I missed that one right there. The magnet's a little close, so I'm going to, that's the beauty of a Stamparatus. You can just re-ink it, and there we can press that down, and it'll be, now it's great. Okay, and so we'll close up the Starry Sky, and let's find our gray granite here on the table someplace. Yeah, there it is. Okay. We're going to bring in the gray granite, and now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to turn it around because I had that stamped right, or I had lined up right there. And let's just check and see before I ink it up. Do you see how I'm trying to look at the middle? That's what I did. And you know, it's always nice before you do something on a piece of paper, on your final, to give it a little test. And that's what I did. But the beauty of doing a Stamparatus is now I could make 20 of these. Look at this, it worked. It's a little bit, missed a piece right there. So let's put a little bit more ink on that. You know, your photopolymer will not stamp. Oh, I messed it up. Let's start over. I don't like that at all. Because I wiggled it. I have another one here. Let's do that. We'll start over, and we're going to do the I didn't want to put it in the corner because sometimes it's hard to get things from the corner. Okay, we'll do it really. Let's see. Try to get everything the first time. That looks good. Now we're going to flip it. And hopefully we're going to get that gray granite right this time without moving it. ink it up. I like to ink it like 3 times. I always taught my grandkids. 1, 2, 3, tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's good. And now we'll take that off, and I'm going to just clean my block and this with my little chamois that I cut in half. Love these chamois. One of the best things that I think Stamping Up ever invented. Okay, so they'll take that off, and we'll put that aside for now. And we are going to do some more stamping. Let's see once where my pieces are. We've got everything here. Sort of. We're going to stamp a bottle next. So I'm going to bring in my grid. We're going to just do that. And we're going to put this aside. Get all my pieces. And we're going to stamp this piece too. And let's see once. Here's that gorgeous flower that I was trying to use. I wanted to use it with this, but I couldn't get it to look good. So anyway, we will save that for something else. Anyway, I don't know which one of these is which now. Which one I just did, I guess. Okay, we're going to get our bottle out, and we're going to stamp our bottle first, and then we're going to do some fussy cutting. So now I think I can probably zoom in a little bit. Let's find our bottle and our other stamp. So we're going to, this is photopolymer, so we need to have a foam mat underneath, like that. We don't need the grid then, do we? You can use a mouse pad, or these are like $5 or $6. They're not very expensive, so they're worth every penny. They're really called a piercing mat. And we have here, I'll just do another one because we can. There we go. And then we're going to fussy cut that. And there is a punch, but it's for the tall bottle, like this. And we're going to use the short one. So, there we go. And we're going to stamp You're on My Mind. I thought this would be a good get well, thinking of you kind of card. And I can see my daughter is trying to call from Mexico, but I got everything silenced. But I see her name is popping up. She and her family live in Sayulita, Mexico. And anyway, I will call her later. You're on My Mind. And let's see once. For the inside of my card, we are going to stamp the one about the sunny thoughts. And where's my stamp? Here it is. We're going to ink that up with the Starry Sky. It's a nice name, isn't it? It's easy to say, Starry Sky. And here is our card. And we're going to just put it right here for now, like that. Oops, upside down. Thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. And that's just going downhill just a slight bit, but it's okay. It'll work. And close those up so we don't get any inkier. And goes here on the side. Okay, let's finish our card. I think that's all of our stamping. That's our inside part. And now we can put this on. And we've got our pretty lacy piece. Isn't that pretty? Now, you could certainly emboss this with something, but I didn't want to put too many more, you know, if you were only making one or something, and if you weren't doing it on camera, you could go and emboss it. I think it would be very pretty to do that. And now I'm going to just put this, center this, like that. Isn't that pretty? And we've got our other piece right there. And now we have to put our little side pieces on. We're going to fussy cut. When you're fussy cutting, remember you're going to move the paper. You're just going to curve it around like that. Just curving it. It's really quite easy. Oop, we'll get that. We'll get that in a minute. There's the other one. And I sort of like to round it. You want to leave a little white edge. It's very easy to fussy cut that. Now I left it a little wide right there, so I'm going to just go in there. I don't have my reading glasses on for this, but I should have. Okay, and there's our bottle. And the bottle's going to go like that. right in there. And I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Let's see what's here. Put some dimensionals on that. Just like this. And take your pick tool. There we go. I think these bottles, I'm going to just put it right there so the leaves are sort of surrounding it. Like that. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. Appreciate that. Let's see what's here. Now we need to put our other pieces on. And let's bring those out. And this is some of the DSP. It's 3 3/4. That's the width of the gray granite by 2 1/4. And we're going to use these 2 pieces. So we're going to cut 2. You could use, you could do it like that. Or you could do the navy and navy like that. That would work too. That's sort of a pretty look like this. And then you could put the paper, the lacy one on like that. That's really quite pretty, actually. Maybe we'll do that. I think I will. We'll change it up a little bit. It's not what I was planning, but I like that. I sort of like that look. And I'm just going to put it here on the bottom. It's got a little Pacific point in it, too. You see the other blue in there? That's sort of a Pacific point. And, but I love that gray granite. It's such a rich looking, the gray granite. Oop, I have things falling off the table here. There we go. And now all we have to do is put this on. We need a good bone folding though, because it's not staying very well. You really need to give those good creases and give, and I can see that I have a few places where this didn't get poked out enough, so you can just poke them out like that. It's sort of a gray day here in Bozeman today, in Montana. I was getting ready I thought it was going to be sunny. I got the bench out to close the shades and everything. But it'll probably get sunny later on. Okay, you're on my mind. I can see something that's a little ink piece on there too. Okay, and now we need to put our pebbles and our ink, and then we'll almost be finished. So I'm going to use my bigger ones. You can see they're sort of in ombre shades. They go from dark to light, and I'm going to use 2 dark ones on this. These are my last ones. I used them in a class, and then I used them on a swap. I used them on 2 swaps actually. There we go. There's a little bit of something right there. I'm going to take my ink eraser once and see if I can, this is just a mono eraser. You can get that on Amazon. There we go. That looks better. And now let's get some little pebbles. These are the pebble enamels. They're still available. I just ordered some more because I really like them. I'm really sad that they didn't carry over. And I do want to it looks like our jug is floating right there, so I'm going to give us a basis. I always think about way back when I lived in Farmington, Missouri, my first stamping teacher was Shirley Hotop, and she always wanted us to make sure we had lines underneath something, so it wasn't just floating in the air, and she always talked about that, and well, she's still a Stamping Up, she was a Angel company stamper at the time, but when we took classes from her, but she's a Stamping Up demonstrator now. And let's see what's here. We're going to use several of these, so it looks like it's on a little bed of rocks. Get that in there with take your pick. The take your pick 2, 4, 6. We use one more little one, so we have 7 like that. There we go. Nice little bed. It's sitting on some rocks just because we can. I love that color together. And there is our card. And let's just Looks cool, doesn't it? I love it. I love that. I love that look. And here is the other one with the, so I did the, you can see the opposite. I'll zoom back out a little bit here. You can see the one is on the, like that. And let's, I think we'll just finish it off by making a card, I mean, making an envelope. And I made one that had the gray granite. That's quite pretty, I think. But I'll show you. Let's do the one with the Starry Sky and white and Pacific Point. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, my envelope, and I just take my seal and run it right along that edge a couple times, right? So you get plenty of adhesive on it. And then if your pattern has a design to it, then you need to sort of watch, but this one can go either way. And I'm just going to line it up with the seam of that card. And then I'm just going to take a big scissors. You can use your snips, but I like to use a big one because it's just a little bit faster for a video. And that is going to be a finished envelope that is, I think, going to be really attractive. There we go. And there's our envelope. And here is our card from today. Isn't that pretty? Do you like it? Oh, Carla, I'm glad you were watching it. You must have had physical therapy for it in the beginning or something. Glad you could. Thank you very much. They are rich colors, aren't they? They're just beautifully rich. Okay, let's close your eyes while I flip the camera up. There we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Fabulous colors. Yes, I really love this. I love this gray granite and Starry Sky together. It's just so rich with the white in there too. Alrighty. Oh, thank you so much, Jan. And so this is going to be my last video in this house. So next week we will be moving. We have a moving company coming on Monday and Tuesday. We're just moving here to another house. It's literally a half mile from here. And the house that we're building in the mountains, by the mountains, it won't be done probably. They say it was supposed to be done October. Now they're saying January, and I don't know when it'll be done. But I have a really cool craft room, really over a 3-car garage with an elevator, and it's going to be really, really wonderful. So it'll be just like my space here. I have a classroom and a studio, but in the new house, it's going to have the third area too. So when I do like a stamping bingo, we'll have room for more people. Oh, well, hey, Munch, I'm glad you found 3 more things to buy. So that's the great thing about being a demonstrator. You get to have that 20% discount. And you know, as people promote to higher levels, then you move up to 25%. So that's good. Hey, good to see you, Priscilla. Thank you for watching. And ladies, I will not be live next week. I don't know if I'll pre-record a video or not. I just don't know. Everything is getting packed up and it's really getting hectic. But I will see you the following week. I am going to go to Wisconsin on May 10th and see my family there for a little bit, but I will do a video on May 9th. It'll be a Monday instead of a Tuesday. But I plan to do that from my new house, so hopefully the internet will work. And hopefully the streaming will go well. And you never know about houses. So I had to have the internet boosted when I started doing videos here in this house. So we will see. Okay, thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your comments. I always read the comments when I'm finished. And I just appreciate everyone who came to my sale. I appreciate all of you who ordered from me online or placed an order with me, and I've sent packages out. The poor mailman, I've been shipping these huge boxes of mystery boxes, and every day he's picking up boxes that are 30 and 40 pounds. Today I had more boxes going out, and I will again tomorrow too. So I really appreciate that. That's really been fun. It helped me push. I am working for the Baltic Seas trip, the Baltic Seas cruise in 2023. That's a Stamping Up incentive trip. And I am about a little bit more than halfway, not quite 2/3, and we have until October. But that's my goal, and plus my goal here was to get rid of stuff and clear it out. But anyway, it also gave me some sales. That was really exciting. Thank you, ladies. I sure appreciate you, and I will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Bye.